Hey, viewers, subscribers. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and to my Blooming Diaries journey. So this week is my 36-week gestational period. And so I'm doing my Blooming Diaries journey experience. And so I am currently at the point where I am meeting with my OB weekly because I am getting closer and closer to the day of meeting my 6th edition. And so yeah, I'm gonna be sharing what I have experienced since we last chatted, which has only been a week ago. And so yeah, so let's get started on what's been going on within the past week. So I pretty much want to start off by saying yay, because y'all get to see me up and dressed and not tucked away in bed, just looking so over it, as I've been for a lot of these Blooming Diary journey videos, but it's okay. So yeah, so I am so happy to be doing this video up and dressed and all that kind of good stuff. Secondly, I want to go into saying that today has been such a divine day for me. Okay. My ancestors are definitely with me. They're always with me. But at times, there are certain times where I unequivocally feel them and know that they are present, as opposed to other times. And that could be for various reasons. It could be due to stress. It could be due to alignment, all that kind of stuff, various reasons. But anyway, I have definitely been in communication with my sacred ancestors and with God during this journey. And as I'm getting closer to the day of meeting my little one, my new little one, just even more deeply. And so my mom has already come and visit me and let me know she is with me months ago. Today, my family midwife showed and revealed herself in a very special way, very touching way, very emotional way. And it was much needed. I'm gonna tell you why it was much needed. 2 reasons. One of them, I didn't know it until after my appointment, or right during my appointment, which I had today. So I had my 36-week appointment today. Prior to this appointment, when I woke up, had a very good night's rest. For the most part, stayed asleep, got up a few times to go to the bathroom, but did not stay up. When it was finally time for me to get up for the day, I went into, and I actually already started the process of just to prepare myself mentally, emotionally, physically. Just started inundating myself with a host of birth work, information, support videos, things of that nature. And I was doing some more of that yesterday. And I woke up and I did some of that today, some of that searching and looking and reading different information that was very, very informative and valuable, very good, wise, and gratifying information. And then it came to me to look up some videos for my family midwife, who is now my spiritual midwife, because she has passed, Mama Claudia Booker. And I actually been looked up stuff on videos for Mama Claudia months ago, and I found some stuff here and there, but for some reason today, divine doing, today I just found a host of videos that were very beneficial to me in my journey and where I'm at on my birthing or pregnancy, soon to be birthing journey. And one of the things that stuck out to me that she said, and I know it was for me, and I know that it was fitting for where my mind kind of has been at and where I have been shifting my mind from. And one of the things that was mentioned in the video, it was just pretty much the video was, discussing birth and pretty much the place that we women go to when we are in that birthing arena and we are bringing forth life and the different stages that we go through, and pretty much where our mind goes, and how we are not alone. That's what she mentioned, because I kind of have, to an extent, been feeling a little alone on this journey, just because the way in which I am going through this journey this time around is very, very new. So I'm getting emotional. I'm telling y'all, it's been an emotional day, but in a good way. So I haven't been feeling completely alone, but somewhat, by some means, simply because a lot of good folks that I have had by my side a lot of the folks I've had by my side in the past are not physically present anymore. The people that I trust the most when birthing, when going through this experience, my mother, my midwife, the team of women that my midwife would bring with her. Well, the team, some people that I remember, they're still present. I mean, they're still physically present, but I don't have access. But yeah, my midwife, my family midwife, excuse me, y'all. Let me clean my face up. I'm outside. Sitting in the parking lot before I go to the store making this video. So if you just, how I was holding the phone, if you just happen to see someone or whatever, it's all good. So yeah, my midwife, who I had grown to love, respect, and trust with my life during, the vulnerable time of giving birth. And of course, my mother, who without a doubt I love and trust with my life. They are ancestors now. And even though my mom was not physically present for my last two births, she was still on, this side of time. She was still physically here, and I could still talk with her and reach out to her. And now I can only do that spiritually. And, so they are not present. And so even though I have my birth team, they're new. And it's new. And for me, newness can still be a little frightening, right? And so I have had my moments on this journey where even though I have my team, I have been frightened and a little nervous, right? And so this goes back to the message that my spiritual midwife now has delivered to me. And I could not I did not see this video when I was looking for it or anything. And it was right on time. And I know it was her talking to me, in the spiritual realm, like, is that right? We have been down this road before. You have done this before. I have gotten on you before. And, she was like speaking in a video talking about not being alone. As we women are journeying during this birthing experience, we have had so many women who have come before us. We have so many women that are going through it at the same time we are going through it, even though we may not know them. We have so many women that will go through it after us, and we are not alone. And then she started talking about how, we need to put on our big girl drawers and all that kind of stuff. And I said, yeah, this is her. She's getting on me right now. From the spiritual realm, like she has always done at the two births that she assisted me with. And she is letting me know, like, you got this and you're not alone. And this morning, in watching her videos and just feeling her presence so deeply, she empowered me in a way in such a way that I am just like so empowered. I mean, I've been empowered along every step of this journey, in different ways, by my mentor who is in Africa, by my doula, and my mother showing up, and now my midwife. And I'm like, I am truly not alone. And I mean, the universe is always showing me that I'm not alone, but we go through things in life, and we kind of forget that, and when challenges come up, even though I do face them initially, sometimes, especially depending upon how big of the challenge it is, I do kind of forget and lose my way. And it has always been my ancestors and God that has come back to me and showed me, like, what are you frightened for? You're good. This is just another part of your journey to help you achieve and get to where it is that you need to head in life. And you're good. You're not alone. And so it really empowered me, and I felt, or I feel, that I can do this. And what I mean by do this, of course I know I can birth, but I can take the lead, because even though I have my birth team, this journey, this sixth pregnancy and birth experience that I'm getting ready to embark upon, it feels a little different, because it feels like I'm really in the forefront, so to speak. I'm really taking the lead. And it's not that I didn't take the lead before in other pregnancies, but it's kind of like I took the lead from behind. I took the lead from behind the curtain, you know, like kind of delegating to the folks on my team what I need, what I want, say this, say that, that kind of thing. And now with this journey, it's kind of like Spirit is like, this time you're not delegating from behind the curtains. You're gonna go out on stage, and though you have your team, they are behind you this time. You're gonna have to delegate to yourself and advocate and speak up and all that kind of stuff. You taking the lead. And not used to that, you know, not used to that in this particular way. And really haven't been used to that in life, but within the past few years, I have been noticing where I have been having to advocate and delegate and be out there in the forefront more. And now with this, it's like even more so that I have to do it. And I know why it's being done. I know that one of my lessons on this particular journey of life is advocating for myself. It's standing up for myself, all that kind of stuff. And so it just seems like I'm in a space and time where as though I'm having to do that so much now. Like, almost feels like I'm being bombarded with situations and occurrences back to back, where I'm having to stand up and advocate for myself and vocalize. And it's a good thing. It's just a little overwhelming at times, just because once upon a time I didn't do that, or I didn't do it as much. But I know to have the outcomes that I want to have, that I have to do it. And the universe is like presenting to me, okay, this is what you want, you can have it, but you gotta come from behind the curtain to make sure it goes the way in which you want it to go, for sure, you know. And so yeah, this morning I was liberated, and I feel so much stronger and empowered. And when I went to my doctor's appointment, I think I mentioned on the last vlog that I had with you all that last week my doctor's appointment, for the most part, was good. My week was good, but then I had noticed what I thought to be a discrepancy in my chart for an appointment for induction, which I come to find out was not a discrepancy. They wanted to, induce me at 38 weeks. Excuse me. And this was put in my chart without informed consent. And so when I went to my appointment, I'm talking to this new doctor that I have, who seems okay. Then I find out it was her that did it. And I find out that she says is that so when we deal with moms who we see who are dealing with hypertension, if it's serious hypertension, like chronic hypertension, even though you don't have that, you don't have chronic hypertension. When it's chronic hypertension, yeah, we go ahead and induce them at 36 weeks. But if it's not chronic hypertension, which is your case, where things, you know, you've been able to maintain your blood pressure without medication and stuff like that, we still go ahead and we induce y'all at 38 weeks. And she gave me her whole spin on why supposedly, even if you could be having a good pregnancy now, once you get past a certain amount of weeks, past 38 weeks, 38 weeks onward, they have seen that the pregnancy can change and the fetus not do so well, and it poses a risk for you and the baby. And of course, they always have to go into the worst case scenario, and the worst case scenario is death. And I'm not saying that those don't happen, but my thing is, we have to look at this on a case-by-case basis, and we have to look at what are the factors, you know what I'm saying, that cause this, and how prevalent is it. And I already knew that she was going to go towards the worst case scenario, because it's about instilling fear so that they can have their way. And we all know that induction leads to more intervention, which is something I don't want, which is something I advocate to other women, to, as much as possible, avoid intervention, because we know with intervention can lead to death, you know, of the mom, of the fetus. And so we only want intervention when it's absolutely necessary. And at this point, you have not shown me where it's absolutely necessary for me to be induced. And I can remember at a younger age, my mother telling me, because my mother was induced with me. And this was before, I want to say it was before I had children, but it might have been maybe in the beginning of me having children. She told me, she was like, never allow them to induce you. And I'm thinking now, even though maybe she told me that then, it was for today. And I remember her telling me that. She said, when you are induced in labor, she said, everything is so much harder. The contractions are harder. You don't get breaks in between, you know, to take a rest and breather. And I don't need that right now. Especially if you say that, if you're concerned about my well-being and my health and the well-being of my child, why would you put us through that torture? You're going to put us through harder contractions, because when they induce you, you know, they're using these chemicals to induce you to and it's not the natural rhythm of your body. It's not the natural flow. And so it's causing contractions to be stronger, longer. It puts the fetus in distress. Why would I want you to put my fetus in distress? Why would I want you to distress my baby, so that way then you can say, oh, the baby is distressed, so now we have to rush you to the operating room and cut you open to get the baby out of you, further endangering me. Why would you want to put me in distress so that my blood pressure can skyrocket? Because stress can cause your blood pressure to skyrocket, right? And so I'm listening to everything she's saying, and it's just not aligning with me, because I know that I hear what you're saying, but yeah, inducing someone can cause the worst outcome to be death, right? And so pretty much, you know, after the doctor said what she had to say, she was like, she was letting me know that I was like, well, she was like, well, I'm just gonna leave the appointment there just in case you change your mind at a later time. Excuse me, I'm starting to sweat out here. I really did. Let me just put this car on and this AC on. You could definitely tell I'm doing much better because I'm able to toil with the heat a little better now. But yeah, go ahead, put this easy on. Yeah, so she's like, I'm gonna, because I had been trying to get them to take that appointment off. I was like, I called before this appointment, right? And I was talking to folks and I was like, yeah, I never authorized no induction. I want that appointment taken off. And all of them were like acting like they cannot take me out of that appointment or whatever. So that kind of infuriated me. But I was like, you know what? I'll just wait until I get to my appointment and talk. And this is when I found out it was her that did it. And so she's saying the same thing. She's like, but yeah, I'm not going to take the appointment off of your my chart just in case you change your mind. And I looked at her and I said, I'm not changing my mind. I don't want to be induced. And I was like, you could just take that appointment off the chart. And she goes into saying that, well, legally I can't take the appointment off. And I said, really? And so I chatted with her. I said, okay. I said, can you find me some information on this? And what I was talking about was her saying that legally she could not. I wanted information on, you know, the legalities of taking an induction that was not even consented on. Like, I never consented on this. They never even talked to me about this out of my chart. And so I wanted information on that because I was already, you know, aware of her talking about preeclampsia, because, you know, that was the risk, and eclampsia, and just everything she was saying I was already aware of. I just wasn't aware of if you develop, or if you was dealing with hypertension and the need to be induced at a certain amount of weeks, because if you're not and you're dealing with hypertension, which, like I've always told y'all, my blood pressure has been wonderful ever since that only episode that I had in the hospital. But you know, I wanted to see information on the fact that babies and moms start doing poorly after 38 weeks if they're dealing with quote-unquote hypertension that is maintained naturally. And I wanted information on the fact that she couldn't take this induction appointment off my chart legally. So I guess I didn't articulate that better, and she was not aware. So she goes out, she brings me information on preeclampsia and eclampsia, and nothing is on the legality of what she was saying or anything. And I said, that's not what I'm talking about. I said, I already know that information. I already have information on that. I said, I want information on the fact of you saying that you can't take an induction appointment out of my chart because of legal reasons. And she said, oh, I don't think we have anything on that. I said, okay. So then she's like, so you don't want this information right here? I said, no, I don't want that. I already know that information. I have that. And I was like, get ready to leave and everything like that. And she was like, well, before you go, can I go talk to the lead doctor here today, because I'm supposed to always, because she's a resident. And so I found that out. I assumed she was a resident, but I found that out for sure today. And you know, she was like, she needed to talk to the doctor before, well, they normally talk to the doctor before they pretty much wrap up the appointment. So I looked at her and I said, go ahead. So I let her do that. She came back probably after about 15 minutes and let me know the doctor didn't have anything else to say or any questions. She asked, did I have any questions? She's very apologetic about the day. And she was, you know, understanding that if I wanted to switch doctors, that I could, and she wouldn't mind putting a note in my chart to, you know, for me to switch from her to someone else. And she was just very apologetic, and she was like, we really hope that you stay with us and continue to talk to us about everything that you are experiencing on your pregnancy journey and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, thank you. And she was like, so did you want me to make a note in your chart about switching to another doctor? I said, I'll think on it and I'll let you know when I come next week. So she was like, okay, and just very pleasant and everything. And that was it. And with all of that happening, and as I was leaving the appointment, I knew that my spiritual midwife, Mama Claudia Booker, had visited me right on time. She visited me right on time, because my thinking when I was at home prior to this appointment was, okay, she's visiting me because I'm getting closer to that time to have the baby. That too, I still think is for that too, but I think she was right on time today because she knew or was aware of certain circumstances happening today at that appointment, and she wanted me to be prepared and armed, and I was. I felt very, very prepared, very, very armed at that appointment. Very, very much so in the forefront, without fretting at all, without feeling out of place. She prepared me very well this morning for today and for the weeks to come. And so, in short and in closing, my week thus far since we last chatted has been pretty good. It's been pretty good. Overall, I've been at peace, and I've been more so focused on myself and prioritizing myself as opposed to others so much, and it's been peaceful. I've just been very optimistic, and I've just been focusing on preparing to bring forth life, as I've been always telling you all, and as I told you last week, just preparing myself mentally, emotionally, preparing my body physically, packing my bag, putting baby items in my bag, all that kind of stuff, and then, you know, had the experience that I had today. So my week has been good, and with that, I'm getting ready to get up out of here and go into the store. And I thank you all for embarking on this journey with me, and I pray that my journey helps you all, and I most definitely want you all to share your feedback on your journey in the comments below. And until next time, y'all stay focused and blessed, and know that you got this. You got this. This journey, this motherhood journey, this birthing experience. You'll be all right. That's for my moms. To the fathers who might be watching, just be there. Be there for your partner, and be her everything. Support her. Show up for her the way that she needs you to. You got this too. You got this too. As long as you all work as a team, blessings are on the way. All right, so until next time, y'all stay wonderful. I will chat with y'all next week. It'll be 37 weeks. I'll be attending my 37th appointment. I'm so excited because this is what I've been waiting for, and talking to this little one, making sure I tell this little one, stay in there at least till 37 weeks, because that's when the baby's lungs are completely developed, and we're almost there. We're there next week. And so once next week gets here, I'm ready to go whenever nature takes its course. So yeah, chat with y'all then, and let y'all know how I'm doing then. All right, peace.